Hi, my name's Christina. I just want to start posting videos about my weight loss journey that's going to be taking place this year, 2017 through 2018 and the rest of my life. This year I started a bariatric program back in July. My program is starting at the Portsmouth Regional Hospital in New Hampshire. My surgeon is Molly Busden. And basically, I'm still in my pre-op stages. I have a lot more to do, and it's going to be a long journey ahead, but I'm really excited, and I hope that everything works out well. So a little bit about me. I'm 5'2". My highest recorded weight was 316.6 pounds. It's just been awful, honestly. My highest weight, it was actually when I got married. So seeing the pictures from my wedding, it's really hard for me knowing that that was the highest weight I've ever been. Riding that plane on my honeymoon was one of the worst experiences of my life, having to use a seatbelt extender. I mean, it was just something that you're always going to remember, and I wish I could forget it, but you know, it was my honeymoon, so it was special to me in a way, but honestly, I just never want to feel that way again. I'm sure a lot of you understand that. So anyway, the reason why I decided to go ahead and ask my doctor about weight loss surgery was because I've been overweight my entire life. And when I say my entire life, I basically mean my entire young teen to adult life, because when you're a child, you're not really thinking about how much you weigh or if that weight is affecting you at all. But my entire life where it actually matters, I've been overweight. And it's been really tough. I've been bullied. I know what it's like to feel like you can't leave your house because other people are going to make fun of you. It's just been a lot to deal with your entire life. So I'm ready. I'm ready to change my life here. So I've lost weight in the past and I've gained it all back. I'm definitely one of those people that fall into that category. I have extreme anxiety, so daily I have to take an anxiety med, and what a lot of people realize is when you take those medications, you gain weight. So people who want to lose weight tend to try to stay away from those medications, but honestly, I just can't right now. My anxiety is very, very severe. So it's hard for me to lose weight that way. But also, 6 years ago, I had an extreme knee injury that I was never able to surgically fix. So along with walking on a bad knee, it has injured my other knee, and I have arthritis in both of my knees now for compensating walking. So just getting around is really, really difficult. Currently, I'm weighing in at 284 pounds. My program requires me to lose 10% of my excess body weight, so I have to be 274 when I go in for my pre-op testing. And basically when I go in for surgery, I have to be at least 274 pounds. So I'm hoping I can reach that goal. My next appointment is on the 20th of November with a nutritionist that I've already met with a few times before. And she told me if I can weigh in at 280 at that appointment that I can start my other pre-op testing, which will include, an upper GI, a stomach ultrasound, and some chest x-rays and maybe some blood work. They're actually going to let me include some of the testing I've already had done earlier this year for other appointments for my program now, so I won't have to get those done a second time, which will just save some time for everyone. So anyway, my bariatric center offers two different kinds of procedures. They offer the RNY gastric bypass, which is what I'm having, and they offer the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. So the reason why I chose to do the RNY gastric bypass was because June 9th, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. My PCP, my doctor, she never told me that I was pre-diabetic, even though she knew that I was pre-diabetic. So shocker to me, I got a phone call telling me that my blood work had come in and that my sugar seemed a little high. But when I got the results in the mail, it showed that my little bit high sugar was actually in the diabetic range. So with my doctor looking at my blood work again, she told me that I was diabetic. So that was kind of a shock to me because honestly, even though I knew I was making bad choices with my eating and I've been overweight most of my life, I just never really thought that I was going to get diabetes. I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. You just never think it's going to happen to you until that blood work comes back and it tells you that you have diabetes. So it was a really hard thing for me to hear and to accept. But honestly, the day that I found out that I was type 2 diabetic, I knew that I had to take the final step in trying to lose this weight. Like I've said, I've done things in the past to try to lose weight. I feel like I've done every single diet there is. I've lost weight. I've gained it all back. I really needed help. I needed something that was going to help me for the rest of my life. So, you know, I had done research for about 10 years on the different weight loss procedures that they had, what was required, really who would benefit from a surgery like that. And when you have type 2 diabetes, if you lose a lot of weight really fast, you can reverse your type 2 diabetes. And that was something that my doctor never told me. When she told me that I had type 2 diabetes, she made it feel like a death sentence. She never told me that it was reversible in any way. And still a lot of people will tell you that once you have diabetes, you always have diabetes. I'm sure for the rest of my life, I'm going to be checking my sugar just so I know, you know, how different foods are affecting my blood. But, within the first 3 months of finding out that I was type 2 diabetic, I lowered my A1C level, which is something that you have to check routinely when you have type 2 diabetes, to find out where you're at as far as your sugar level. And I lowered that. So now technically I'm only 0.1% in the pre-diabetic range just from changing my diet. So like I said in the beginning, my highest weight was 316.6 pounds. Currently I am 284 or 285. And just by lowering my weight, I mean, my diabetes has almost reversed itself. So thinking about toward the future and losing weight, what that's going to do for me, that's going to change my life. And it's something that I'm looking forward to. I can't even begin to explain how excited I am to have something that's actually going to change my life for me. It's going to be a tool that I will appreciate for the rest of my life. So anyway, my bariatric center, like I said, offers the RNY gastric bypass and the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. And right now, my bariatric center does not have a nurse practitioner, so I initially met with my surgeon first, which a lot of people don't meet with their surgeons until the end of their program, so that was pretty cool for me. My surgeon is Dr. Molly Busden. And she initially told me that I was a great candidate for surgery. And knowing that right away was a real relief. I wasn't sure what to expect, honestly. I've never been to a doctor like that, that really just focused on my weight. I was unsure what she was going to say about my body and if it was going to be safe for me to have the procedure because I am so short and I was so heavy. So it was a real relief to find out that she thought I was a great candidate for the surgery. So after that meeting, I started going to my nutrition meetings and my physical therapy meetings. For me, those happen once a month. My nutritionist, her name is Jessica. She's so wonderful. She makes me feel very comfortable, finding out what I can eat and have up until I can lose my pre-surgery weight requirement, has been, I don't want to say not difficult because that would be a lie. It's, you know, it's been different. I am one of those people that love my bread. I love my pastas, but I want to be healthy. So I'm really trying to stick with eating better and dropping my weight. So she's been great. I love my nutritionist. My physical therapist, he is wonderful. Actually, the last time I met with him, I'm pretty sure was supposed to be my last appointment with him, but I kind of coerced another appointment. That way I can see him one more time. He's just been such a great support. I feel very comfortable going to him. He teaches me about, you know, what ways I can exercise, the machines I can use at my local gym, and it's just been great. I feel like I can be accountable to someone and that person is him, and it's been great. I'm going to be sad once I don't have to see him anymore. So the center that I go to, like I said, will require me to go to the nutritionist and the physical therapist. And then they also had me go to a psychiatrist. My initial appointment with him was a psych evaluation, which I know a lot of people, when they're going for their weight loss procedures, are very worried about their evaluation. I think that was the part of this whole procedure that I was the most nervous about, was my psych eval, because I've never been great with psychiatrists. I don't feel comfortable speaking to them due to a childhood trauma that happened to me when I was a kid. And I just was very nervous about meeting this gentleman that I met with. He was wonderful. Everybody in this program for me so far has been wonderful. I felt totally open talking to him. So, you know, I was approved through him, that I was okay for surgery, and he also was holding the behavioral modification classes for my program. You have to have 5 classes to modify your behavior. So I did those. Those were once a month, and they were very informative. I brought my husband with me every time I had a class, which was about an hour and a half or 2 hours, I believe, each session. And they basically taught you about how to make good choices, what to expect after surgery, and how you're going to have to change how you see food, your relationship with food, how other people are going to view you, see you, how you're going to feel about yourself. I mean, those classes encompass so many things that I honestly didn't even think about. They were so wonderful to have. And after my surgery, I can actually go back to those classes anytime I want and sit in and not have to pay for them again, just so I can keep fresh, you know, keep all that information in my head going forward, to make good decisions and stuff. So that's going to be a really, really great help for me. So yes, Dr. Wagner, that was my psychiatrist, through the Portsmouth Bariatric Surgery Center, and he was great. I love him. So right now, where I'm at in my program, I have completed my psychiatric portion. I have had most of my nutrition meetings. I'm still going to be seeing her during the months. I have my last physical therapy appointment at the end of this month, November. And if I meet that surgery weight, 280-ish, by November 20th, then I'll start my other pre-op testing. Now, I will say one of the kinks I've had in this road for me is that my current insurance through my work does not cover bariatric surgery. It was a huge upset. I couldn't believe that they didn't cover that. Where I work, I have Cigna insurance. Cigna does cover bariatric surgery, but it pretty much depends on what kind of company you work for and what they've chosen to include in your insurance plan. So the company that I work for does not have bariatric surgery as one of the things that they cover. So I've had a little bit of trouble having some of my appointments be covered. Right now, my doctor wants me to have a sleep study. Excuse me, I said my doctor, but I meant my surgeon. She wants me to have a sleep study done, and my insurance is refusing to cover it because my PCP had said it was due to bariatric related surgery that I'm having. And because they said that, even though I already have the symptoms of sleep apnea, they're refusing to cover my sleep study. So I'm just trying to go through the motions of trying to find a way I can either get that covered or pay for it, because my new insurance doesn't take effect until January 7th of next year, and I have to finish this program within 12 months, or else I have to do everything all over again. So I'm really trying to rush these things, get them all done in the time frame. The insurance that I'm going to requires a 6-month bariatric supervised program, so they're counting everything I'm doing this year for 2017, which is wonderful. I'm glad they're actually letting me do that. But if I don't get my sleep study until the beginning of January, I'm not sure how quickly I'd be able to have my surgery done, just because there are other things that factor in if I do have sleep apnea and they want to put me on a CPAP machine. I believe there's like a 3-month period where you have to constantly use your CPAP machine before they clear you to use it for the rest of your life or something. I'm not really sure. It was very confusing. So I hope everything works out for me. If I have to wait another period of time, do more things over again, I mean, I'm willing to do it just because I know I need this to change my life. I'd be really bummed if that happened though. So fingers crossed. I hope everything works out. So anyway, I'll have my pre-op testing done hopefully soon. That'll include that stomach ultrasound. I think they're going to be checking my gallbladder at that appointment. I know a lot of people get their gallbladders removed during this procedure, so that might be something that has to happen with mine too. I haven't really had much stomach pain as far as like my gallbladder is concerned, but who knows what they'll find. So I have to have that done, in upper GI, and my sleep study as well. They required me to have a pap smear, which I think they just wanted to check because cancer does run in my family. So that was another appointment I had to go to. It's a lot of little things here and there. I have had a ton of blood work this year done just because of that type 2 diabetes diagnosis. So a lot of that blood work that they'd require for this year, they're not going to make me do again just because I've already had it done. But so far, it's been a journey, and I'm telling you, this community is just awesome. My Instagram handle for weight loss surgery is Christina's Losing It, Kristina, and Losing It. My regular Instagram account is Right Love in Our Arms, spelled WRTLUVONHERARMS, and I'll link both down below somewhere in the description box if I can. And I'm telling you, those people that I've talked to that are going through the same thing as me, who've already gone through the programs, it's such an invaluable source of knowledge here that you don't even realize you need until you stumble upon it. I've also done research for a long time, but there are things I never even knew to consider, to think about. And some of these people, I'll tell you a few of their names on here, have just been such an inspiration for me, not only to like push forward with going through the surgery, but to just put myself out here on the community, reach out to other people, answer questions, things like that. So someone who actually hasn't had weight loss surgery, but is such an inspiration because of how she goes about her life, how she's lost weight, and is just so supportive of all of her people who watch her. Her name's Jordan Shrinks on here. I'm sure a lot of people know who she is. She's just, I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I've just looked at her posts and laughed, and it made me feel better. You know, she was kind of where I'm at. She was really, really heavy. You know, thankfully for her, she was able to lose the weight naturally. That's not the case for everyone, which is why I love being on this community again, just because I have those people who understand it's not the same for everybody. But she's great to watch. She's super funny. So if anybody needs a little pick-me-up, you can go watch her. A newer YouTuber, her name is Losing Carrie, I believe. I can link her channel down below as well. I love her videos. She initially started out with her partner and they were losing weight together. They got the gastric bypass, and watching her channel specifically, she goes through a lot of the same issues that I deal with. She has anxiety just like I do. Her weight was very similar to mine. Her starting weight had to be, you know, what mine's going to be. Just watching her, I feel like I'm watching what I'm going to be dealing with. So it's been great watching her. I support her 100%. You go, girl. You're doing great. She's lost like 100 pounds already. It's been 6 months. As a fan of her channel, I couldn't be more proud. So anyway, just those are only a couple of those people that I watch on here. It's hard for me to remember all the names. I'm so bad at names. There's an Australian woman on here. She's so great. She works on a train. She got VSG, I believe, and she actually might have got RNY, but one of those surgeries. She is so lovely. She's such a lovely person, and it's great watching her videos, just seeing her updates. She doesn't post all the time. I know, you know, having a career is really time consuming, but when she does post, it's just a great thing to watch because I feel like I could be friends with her and she makes me feel very comfortable. Some of her concerns in the beginning were the same concerns that I have now. So again, I'll link these channels down below if I can find them. A lot of them also have Snapchat, Instagram. So I am a little bit more active on Instagram. Again, I'm hoping to be able to continue to post videos, answer questions once I get a little bit more comfortable. If anyone has questions for me, I'm happy to answer those as well. I try to go live every now and then and talk about what's going on in my life and stuff. So anyway, this surgery was not a light decision. It took me a long time to get to this point, you know, with some support of friends. My family's very, very supportive of me. I just decided this is the time. This is a perfect time for me in my life. Hopefully insurance will pan out and that'll be great. And I won't have to worry so much about all these things coming out of pocket because it is quite an expense. But sometimes I feel like if you're paying for something, then you're actually going to appreciate it more because it's coming out of your pocket, out of your hard-earned money. So even though I would love insurance to be paying for all these things, sometimes, you know, it's good to have to be accountable for that as well. So anyway, if I haven't covered anything, I'm sure I'll do that in another video, but I appreciate your support. Again, my name's Christina and I'll be here posting and keeping you updated on my journey to my gastric bypass and hopefully my new life. So it's nice to meet everyone and I wish you well on your journeys as well.